Hey y'all, let's get to cooking. This is what we're doing today. Hey y'all, welcome back to Mima's house. Today I'm in the kitchen, kinda. Well, yeah, I'm in the kitchen today. And I am going to decorate my coffee bar. I'm just gonna put that in there real short in between my cooking. I'm going to cook two things because we want to go sit at the fire pit tonight and enjoy ourselves with a sweet treat and some coffee. So I'm going to make some pumpkin cranberry scones and some pumpkin butterscotch cookies. Y'all get in the kitchen with me and let's get to cooking. Here are the ingredients we'll be using to make our pumpkin cranberry scones. And of course, as usual, the list of the ingredients will be down in the description box. I hope you enjoyed today's video. The first step to this recipe is, as usual, get your dry ingredients into the mixing bowl. We're going to get all the dry ingredients together and whisk them to mix them well. The next step is to get all of our wet ingredients into the next mixing bowl, and we'll get those mixed well together. Now we'll whisk these ingredients together until everything is well combined. Okay, now that we're done whisking our wet ingredients together, let's get this dry ingredient bowl back in front of us so that we can cut in our ice cold butter. You can put your butter in the freezer or you can just have it from the refrigerator. And you know, normally I like to do things from room temperature, but for this recipe and usually for biscuit recipes, we want our butter cold so that it won't all leak out when you get ready to bake it and make your biscuit tough. A scone is just a graduated biscuit, and we want this biscuit, just like all the rest of them, to be nice and flaky. That's what cold butter will do for you. And I want this butter to stay as cold as possible. That's why I'm using my pastry cutter instead of my hands. Also, if you don't have a pastry cutter, you can do this with a fork. And if you want to do it with a food processor, you can do that as well and cut out all of this stuff and just do it in a food processor. Okay, now that our butter is into those pea-sized chunks, we're ready to add our wet ingredients, but I forgot to add the vanilla, so I'm going to do that now. Before I add my wet ingredients, I want to go ahead and coat my cranberries with the flour. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to this mixture to coat those cranberries so that they can be incorporated well throughout the scone. Now I want to mix this only until the wet and the dry ingredients are somewhat combined. Then I'm going to put it out onto my surface and press it together, not stir it together because that will make my scone tough. So I just want to get them mixed until the dry ingredients and wet ingredients are almost incorporated with each other. Now that the dough is all pressed together, I'm going to start my folds. You see how I folded it over on itself? I'll do that 6 times, and that makes for a nice flaky scone. Now, after all my folds have been done, I try to get this in a disc shape or into a circular shape. I'm going to put it onto my baking sheet that I'm going to bake it on using my bench scraper. If you don't have a bench scraper, just use a knife and pry it up off the countertop if you need to. But I want it into a disc shape so I can get the traditional triangular scone shapes by cutting the disc into eighths. Now you may ask, Mima, why did you cut it on the baking sheet that you're going to bake it on? That's because I don't want to have to move my scones anymore once I cut them. It's cut, now they're where they're supposed to be, and we're going to get them into the refrigerator to chill one more time, and then we can bake them. Now, while my scones are chilling, let's go ahead and work on this coffee bar so that I can get that done. Just decorate it a little bit for the fall. Okay, y'all, so the scones are in the refrigerator. Now let's go ahead and pull together our pumpkin butterscotch cookies. Now, these cookies have to be refrigerated. The dough has to be refrigerated. That's very important after we pull it together. So once I get the dough together, we'll go back to the refrigerator. We'll pull out the scones. We'll get them in the oven, and we'll put our cookies in the refrigerator to chill. This recipe calls for pumpkin, but it calls for the pumpkin to have as much water extracted from it as possible. It calls for 6 tablespoons of extracted pumpkin. So I'm trying to extract the water by putting it into paper towels and pressing the water into the paper towels. You'll see how much liquid I get out of the pumpkin. Now that I've extracted all the liquid from the pumpkin as much as I want, you still have a moist pumpkin. It's not wet though. That's what we're looking for it not to be so wet. We can go ahead and measure our 6 tablespoons of pumpkin. Now in a large measuring cup, I'm going to go ahead and measure out my white sugar, my brown sugar, my butter, and the pumpkin, and I'll get that mixed well together. Now I'll add the vanilla and then the pumpkin, and we'll get that all mixed well together. Now it's time to gather up my dry ingredients, and once we get those whisked together, we'll add the wet ingredients and our cookie dough will be pulled together. Now I'm going to add my butterscotch chips to the dry ingredients so that they can be coated with the flour. That prevents them from clumping down at the bottom of the cookie, and it allows the butterscotch to be distributed evenly throughout the batter. Now it's time to add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients and make our cookie dough. Okay, now that the cookie dough is done, we can go ahead and cover it and put it in the refrigerator to chill for about a half hour or so. In the meanwhile, let's exchange these scones for the cookies. I'm going to coat my scones with a little heavy whipping cream, and then they'll go into a 400-degree oven. Okay, y'all, so the scones are in the oven, the cookies are in the refrigerator, and I got a kitchen to clean. So let me get my kitchen cleaned and we'll get the cookies in the oven as soon as they're ready and they're cool enough. We're busy, we're getting it together. I put a few pecans into the batter so that I can make me and pea possum cookies with pecans in them. Children don't like the pecans, but we do, and I'm adding them to that just by pressing them into the cookies as I scoop them up. Now it's time to make a little frosting to go onto our scones. I'm going to pull together a cream cheese frosting. I'm going to add pumpkin to half of it so that we can have a pumpkin cream cheese frosting and a regular cream cheese frosting. And you'll see what I do with it when we're all done. And just in case I haven't told you, all of the ingredients will be listed in the description box below. And also, thank you for subscribing. I do appreciate having you as subscribers to come over to Mimon's house and just hang out with me while I do a little cooking. So, if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll be glad to welcome you to Mimon's house. Now that I've mixed up my cream cheese glaze, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of pumpkin to half of the glaze so that I can have half pumpkin glaze and half cream cheese glaze. Now I'm going to put each of these glazes into a Ziploc sandwich bag because I didn't want to waste any of my Wilton bags. I'm going to go ahead and use the Ziploc sandwich bags. Cut the tip off and I'll be able to do a design on my scones. So here are the decorated scones. They have just enough icing or glaze on them to sweeten them up a little bit. They're not a very sweet scone. Of course, scones usually aren't sweet because they're good with coffee, but this is the finished product, and I hope that you give this recipe a try. My husband has already eaten one of them, you can see, because I actually had 8 of them. Now I only have 7. So let's get these cookies out of the oven now. Okay, so we're going to let the cookies cool, and we'll get them plated up and put over on the coffee bar so we can have some coffee and scones and cookies and whatever out by the fire. Okay, I'm here with my taste tester, Peyton. She is going to actually taste one of the cookies for me.
Wow, that is delicious.
You like it? What does it taste like?
I can taste the butterscotch. It's nice and moist, squishy. I love it. I can taste some.
You can't keep putting cookies in your mouth, but you liked it.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, y'all, so you heard my taste tester. She is enamored with this cookie. We're going to go outside in a few minutes and sit at this fire pit and eat us a scone and some coffee and all of that good stuff. Temperature's pretty cool outside, and I wanted to do something that we could do as a family outside. While I'm going to make some soup. It'll be on the next video, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Y'all be blessed. Bye. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. I love it when you share my recipes. And hey, be on the lookout for my upcoming video, which will be an easy day soup. It's more of a stew. But y'all be blessed. Bye.